crafters, thanks for joining me here in the attic. So pull up a chair, grab your favorite beverage, and we'll get to crafting and memory keeping. Welcome to day 20 of Fairy Wings and Forgotten Things. This is a magical fairy collaboration I am hosting in my Facebook group. All the information is down in the description box, and there's also a playlist where you can catch up on the last 19 days. There's still 10 days left if you want to go over, try to catch up on all the videos and following the fairy guides and enter for the prizes at the end of the month. So for day 20, be sure to go over to Emily Designs. She is your official fairy guide for today, and grab your official token and prompt for the day. Professor Fernscribe will be heading out to visit the Moonlight Pixies. And her prompt today is she will be learning about the fairy tea. So fairy tea is used tea or coffee stained item. So let's see what we want to create today. For today, I am using my kit, the Illustrated Anthology of Fairies, and this is the Moonlight Pixies. I am also using a couple of pages from Emily Designs kit, and all these kits are linked in the description box below. So, what do I want to do today? I think what I want to do is I want to start out doing some background stamping here. I've grabbed a background stamp that I had of just some text that I'm going to be using, and I'm going to be using the tea dye Distress Oxide to just do some random stamping here. I'm going to grab a stamping block. And it doesn't matter that this doesn't completely cover the stamp here, because I'm just going to do some random stamping, and so I'm not looking for a really crisp, clean stamp. I just want it to look like some faded text on here. So I'm just going to ink up my stamp. Let's just see if we can get some random texting here. I'm going to change up and do a couple of stamps so it does look a little more random. I'm not going to do exactly the same one. So let me take this one off, and I think I want to do this small one here. Just add a little bit more randomly around here. Okay, we'll set this aside. And I want to create something that my information card is going to fit in. And I think I want to put it over here. So I've cut out one of the pockets. This was part of my kit. I'm going to score these lines and fold the pockets. And get that glued down. Can't believe there's only 10 days left of this collaboration. It seems like we just started. I appreciate everybody that has supported the collaboration, supported myself, the other fairy guides, the other designers that have created kits. Your support really does mean a lot. I'm going to just ink this up directly to the paper here. This is pretty light, so that direct to paper works well for really light inks. And I want to put this down right here, but before I do that, I've also grabbed a stencil that kind of looks like script writing that I'm gonna go back here and use a little bit of the Vicky Bouton's Creative Fix Silver Glaze and do a little bit of texture paste type stenciling here, because I feel like with the Moonlight Pixies there would definitely be like a silvery glow about their world. And again, I don't want it to be completely the whole stencil. Just kind of randomly putting this on here. And just lift that up. And I'm going to do that again right up here. I'm going to change this time, and yeah, use that bottom. Go ahead and lay that out. Do the same thing. I love to add texture paste, especially these kinds that kind of shimmer. They can add so much to your project with such little effort. Alright, I'm gonna go clean my stencil off real quick and we'll come back. Alright, I lost a little bit of footage, but I went ahead and put down this pocket, put my fairy card in, I glued down my envelope, I glued one of my little fairy tags here with some lace back there, and I stamped my glassine envelope with two stamps. One says Moon Phases and the other is the Phases of the Moon. These came in an advent box I got from Cora Create Crafts last year. And I'm going to go around the edge of my bag here just to add a little bit of shimmer. In random areas. I'm not going to do it in a line. I want it to kind of look more like random stardust. Just kind of around. going to go back and add some to areas on my pictures. Same thing over here. And I'm going to grab some Nuvo drops. These Nuvo drops are called Silver Moon Dust, so I'm going to add these also randomly around my page just to add some extra interest. I want to also add some shimmer details to my little card here. So I'm going to, that same Silver Moon Dust, to just add embellishments here to the tag. And also faintly over some of my script writing. Not all of it, but I just want to hit some highlights so it looks like the script kind of shimmers and glows. And I'll set that aside to dry. I'm going to come back now now that this texture paste has dried, I just want to go over it a little bit with the Stormy Sky Distressed Oxide to add a little bit of blue right into where those text areas would be, just to make it look a little more like it's part of the page and writing versus just the stencil on the page. Just want to fade it out. Like that. I'll do the same thing down here. I know my text from the tea ink doesn't show up super well on camera, but you can see it in person pretty well. I hope it will show up in the still photos a little better. Okay, I like that. That just added a little bit right to the page. I'm going to go around the picture just a little, just so it adds a little bit of shadowing. So let's see what Professor Fernscribe has to tell us today about the Moonlight Pixies. Day 20, World of the Moonlight Pixies. The Fairy Tea. Environmental notes: a glade steeped in perpetual moonlight, silver glow, constant regardless of weather or phase, air cool, scented with jasmine and honeysuckle. Pools reflect constellations not visible above, an enchantment tied to lunar forces. Cultural observations: the moonlight pixies thrive in nocturnal revelry. Their lives revolve around brewing teas from blossoms steeped in moonlight, each infusion enchanting memory, visions, or dream. Hospitality is their highest custom. Tales are exchanged as eagerly as drink. Artifact notes: though the day's title recalls the fairy tea, what I was truly given was its creation, a tea-stained letter, written upon vellum infused with lunar brew. The ink, shifting between silver and violet, reveals images and memories of the reader's own heart when viewed under moonlight. Hypothesis: reflective script, a mirror that writes one's hidden truths. Narrative encounter: at the close of the feast, after many cups of glowing tea, a pixie, with hair like moon silk, pressed a folded sheet into my hands. The parchment, faintly damp and tea-stained, shimmered as though alive. Unfolded, it bloomed with lines in my own hand, names of flowers I loved as a child, a riverbank where I once dreamed, thoughts never spoken aloud. The tea writes what you carry, she whispered, a letter brewed from moonlight and memory. And so that ends day 20 of Fairy Wings and Forgotten Things. I hope you'll come back tomorrow to see where Professor Fernscribe heads for day 21. So until I see y'all again here in the attic, y'all take care.